Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Ghost Trick. On the last episode, we had quite the bombshell dropped on us. As it turns out, there's someone other than us who has the powers of the dead. And they've been using this about 5 years ago. On top of that, we've been called to the park by Lynn, so let's go see what she has to say. Apparently something pretty big is going down here. Lynn calls and I oblige. I take off towards Temsic Park, the place where clearly something big is taking place. The Manipulator. The person whose very existence sheds new light in everything. Detective Zhao's crime, the execution orders, and even my own death. Could it be? Could Lynn have been manipulated into shooting me? Chapter 14, about 1:30. Chugging along as usual. Temsic Park, the site of the little lady's Camilla's abduction tonight, and the place where an important piece of evidence, the music box, was hidden. We're back again. Hey, it's the chicken guy. What the heck is he doing here? I wonder why our lady detective is looking so dejected. At least she isn't dead, but what did she find? Seems important. Looks like a leaf. By the way, in case it happens to become relevant, Temsic, as in Temsic Park, what's he doing here? Well, he's mostly here to give us the opportunity to use the swing to get to the other side. Let me spend a moment's time with you, my love. The world will not end if the food delivery is a little late. La la la, okay. This is probably unnecessary. A little late? It's already ice cold. I guess Sissel can sense it himself, but now we can use his hat to get across to the other side of the playground. In fact, we can also make the swing harder, which helps us out even more. There we go. Wait a minute now. Right, and around we go. We can spin this. It's a lot of work just to get around to where Lynn is, but, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Let's move this into the baseball, and let's say hi to Lynn. Oh, there you are, Sissel. From your dejected expression, I gather, you didn't find what you were looking for. Right, I can't find the music box anywhere, but I found something else instead. Something horrible. Horrible? What is it? Well, let's find out. Aha. There in the grass, you better see for yourself. Gee, big shock. I wonder what we're gonna find. Can't go anywhere without there being a corpse. I nearly died when I saw it, and I suppose now that we found it, we can't just leave it there, can we? No, I suppose not. Dirty laundry once again. Let's go say hi. Oh my god, it's that guy. Stop the park from being turned into a housing site. Protect the park, the rock of the gods. You there! You're talking to me, aren't you? I have some leaflets for you, leaflets I know you'll be very interested in. I urge you to peruse it thoroughly, examine it in detail. Never mind that right now. Do you remember your name? My name? What does my name matter when there are more important things to worry about? Okay. Come now and study these tracks with me, my brother. Come and learn about the Rock of the Gods with me. The night is no longer young. As a matter of fact, daybreak is approaching, but we are young. I'm not young, I'm dead. Look, I don't have time to get involved in your way of life, but I am interested in your way of death. So let's go back to 4 minutes before your death. By the way, I discovered a little while ago that the reason we go back specifically to 4 minutes before their death, despite the fact that there's no explicit timer, is because the Japanese word for for, she, or one of the counting words for it, is similar to the word for death. Therefore, 4 is associated with death. So that's a little nifty fact. So let's go back to death minutes before his death. There he is. This is the guy we saw on the phone back in Chapter 4. Twitchy. Look at him go. And so I made up my mind. I resolved to live here in the park and defend it. Okay, and what does it have to do with the Rock of the Gods you mentioned? You still don't appear to understand. The Rock of the Gods, by the way, should look familiar. It's written quite clearly in the 4th leaflet in great detail. It happens to be what was painted on the back of Detective Zhao's prison cell that I pointed out back in Chapter 6. Excuse me, but I have to use the restroom. Yeah, let's get out of here. It's hard to go to the bathroom while that guy's dancing around out there. Hey, it's Kamala. Man, he came straight to a rescue. Sort of, in a bit of a roundabout method. I'll be right there. Look at him go. Check it out, there's the rock. I've located the target, beauty. A girl of the right age coming out of the right apartment building at the right time. And there's the music box. Great. That sort of solves one mystery. But it wasn't there when we found his body. Yes, my dear, I'll ever so gently nab her and come right back to your side. Good evening, young lady. Won't you come with me? Right in that trunk. Eek. Stop them! What's he doing? Oh gods, what do I do? What should I do? I have to do something. Oh, look at that. It was hanging from... Oh. Whoa. Well, he definitely had it coming. So, I wonder if we just witnessed Camilla being saved from death. Remember that she already had a core. What in the world? What just happened? Oh, that's Mino. Mino. Mino the mascot, the symbol of Temsic Park. Actually, Mino is a statue of a bagworm, and Mino is derived from the Japanese word for bagworm. Forget about the name of the big creepy lump of concrete. I'm talking about the way it changed direction. Did you see that? Yes, I did. We witnessed it with our own eyes. The power of the Rock of the Gods. That was the power of the gods. Save that little girl. And then that same power very deliberately crushed you instead. Well, yes, precisely. That is called the mischief of the gods. Was it the mischief of the gods or a ghost trick? Nah, it couldn't have been a ghost trick. No ghost trick could change the direction of something that heavy in midair. Wait a minute. What if there was somebody with much greater powers than me? And if we turn back the clock to 4 minutes before Twitchy's death, we might find out who it is. Trick time. So here we are. Let's see what happens. And look! Look at that! There's another flame besides mine. That's where I suppose Camilla's corpse would have been if she'd actually been crushed by that thing. Meaning we are about to find out who brought her back to life. So that is the flame of God, is it? Hold on. Your spirit is a flame too, isn't it? Yeah, so? Pardon me, but are you a god? I sincerely doubt it. At the last minute, that big lump of concrete made a huge swing to one side. That was probably that flame's doing it. Who could it be? I definitely believe it's either a god or somebody god-related. Maybe I better try talking to this person. Let's do that. And the solution is... What the? This person with much greater powers than me. It's... you? Hello! Oh my, it's... Missile! You look well for being dead. You looked pretty well the first time, too. Did you see what I did? I did it! I tried really hard and I did it! I saved Miss Camilla! Are you telling me I was done in by a puppy dog? Missile, what's going on? How'd you get the powers of the dead? I'm glad you asked. Time for an explanation. You certainly didn't have it the first time. After Miss Camilla went out and you left. Yep. Please don't tell me he died banging his head into the wall. That would be unbelievably tragic. I worked like crazy to make my own path and I did it! Did he? Turns out he was going for the doorknob the entire time. I guess he's smarter than he looks. And then I followed Miss Camilla out into the big wide world. I guess he's not a bad tracker. And there's the base of the statue that we also saw painted on Jowd's wall. And then here at this park I found her at last. You guessed it, I barked. You bet I did, and I went running after her too. There it goes. Check out that crater. And run over. Poor guy. It's pretty anticlimactic, I have to say, all things considered. And then I guess I died. And then I was unconscious for a little while. See, we don't actually see Camilla's body. When I came to, it was all over. Poor Miss Camilla, crushed into that big scary lump. Oh, what have I done? I'm so sorry, little lady. Please forgive me. Camilla! I had to rescue Miss Camilla. It was up to me. I cried out from the depths of my heart, and then... Hey, check out that glowy stuff. But I can't tell you how surprised I was, but I bet you understand, right? Better than probably anyone else could. And I remembered what you did for me, how you saved me. So you went back, right, to 4 minutes before the little lady's death? You bet I did! That was, by the way, the same glowy stuff that was on our body when we died. I don't think we've seen it since then. Also, note that Missile's actually color-coded green while we're red. Yes, my dear, I'll ever so gently nab her and come right back to your side. In a minute now. Look at him go. And there's us. Now's my chance, I thought. I saw the core. I don't know, it looks pretty far. I stretched out my paw towards the core. How I felt at that moment. I'd love for you to be able to feel it too. Go ahead, Sissel, try it for yourself. Now we get to control Missile. And check this out. His range is ridiculous compared to Sissel's. How could you connect over such a great distance? Well, they don't call me Missile for nothing. And then so you manipulated that Mino thing and threw it aside? Right on top of my head. Well, no, actually. Huh? I can't manipulate things like you can, Sissel. You can't? Then how'd you... I didn't know what to do. I happened to see something out of the corner of my eye, and it had a core too. Check out that leaf. You might have noticed during the last cutscene when we saw Twitchy die, that the leaf actually changed places with the rock. A single leaf hanging from the tree. I tried reaching out to the leaf, and we have to do this ourselves. Check that out. What in the world? You'll notice, you can't really see this in the video, but it says swap on the upper corner. I can't manipulate things, but apparently I could swap them. As long as the two things have the same shape, that is. These are both roughly football shaped. Swap things with the same shape? Go ahead and try it. Touch the swap button. And Missile has a swap button where we have a trick button. And now we've just killed Twitchy ourselves. That's incredible. And that's how you saved your mistress, is it? And that's how I became caught up in this, is it? I'm very sorry, my powers are too meager. Actually, they were pretty good. Because you see, I saw one more. Hey, a football. An actual football. I happened to notice one more core, and there's something with the exact same shape stuck in the branches of a tree. Hey, you're right. If Mino could be swapped again with that, then disaster wouldn't have to rain down on my head. I don't know, I kinda like him better dead. What is that thing? It's too big to be a leaf. Whatever it is, I'd much prefer it on my head than Mino. That's a valid point. So why didn't you swap them, Missile? I couldn't. I can stretch out my paw a little further than you can, Sissel, but as you can see, it's not quite far enough. I'm not doing this, by the way. It's a cutscene. But this is just too far for me. I couldn't reach. And thud. I guess it was possible to wait for the leaf to blow away and switch a second time, but we didn't really think of that. I must admit, it's a fascinating spectacle of a death if I do say so myself. I kept retrying over and over, seeing if there's anything I could do. I bet there's something you can do now, huh? If we work together, you and me. Cicely, you think so? I don't plan on letting anybody die in front of me tonight. Do you think you could help me? Of course, naturally. Nobody asked you. So we're gonna drop that Mino thing in a different spot. Okay, let's try it. Let's go back again to 4 minutes before, for a second time. Alright, let's get started. 4 minutes from now, you'll swap Mino with the leaf. And then you have to swap Mino with something else. Something with the same shape. As I said, it's an actual football. I believe it's it's a rugby ball. But with the rugby ball where it is now, Missile can't reach it, so that means I have to move it closer somehow. Looks like you and I will have to work together on this one, Missile. Okay, I'm ready. Whenever you want to use my swap trick, just touch the Missile icon. So now we've got a new gameplay mechanic. That way you'll be able to control me, and then if you touch the Sissel icon, control will come back to me. By the way, you can switch between us with select too. Select, huh? I'll remember that. Okay, let's try it. Together we can stop Mino from hurting anybody. So again, as I said, now we have a new gameplay mechanic. With Sissel, we can move around and use our ghost tricks as usual, and then we can swap to Missile, color-coded in green, to move around and swap objects. So basically the reason that Missile has a much longer range than Sissel is because if you try to occupy the same object, instead you'll just talk to him and get a hint. That's not really something we need to do. The ability of Missile to move much further than Sissel basically allows him to get out of the way so that Sissel can move from place to place using his stubby little tentacle compared to Missile's. So we've got our new gameplay mechanic, and we've got a new mystery gun in our hands. Why did Missile get ghost trick powers here when he didn't the first time he died? Well, as I was trying to explain before, we are currently in Temsik Park, and Temsik is Kismet spelled backwards. Kismet is a Turkish word for fate. This goes hand in hand with the fact that part of the theme of this game is reversing fate. Naturally, you can imagine this means this area itself is quite important. There's a reason why Missile, being here, received the powers of the dead. We'll find out and hopefully save Twitchy from dying in the next episode of Let's Play Ghost Trick. See you tomorrow.